there, this is Al. We're looking at the new cards that just got revealed from Japan. Guys, the next expansion is going to be based on Mega Evolution, of course, and it's going to be really exciting. And we're going to look at some new cards that got revealed at the Pokemon Japan Championships that just concluded this weekend. It was an awesome tournament. It was a lot of Raging Bolt, and I think ultimately it was Raging Bolt who took it to the end with a phenomenal just run. Completely streak with no owls. We got Birdless, Raging Bolt, winning this whole thing. Really awesome stuff. But we can go over the reveals that were made right now. It's going to be super fun. So here are the reveals from the Japanese set Mega Brave and Mega Symphonia, which will be releasing in August in Japan. For us, of course, you know already, we're getting it late. Is this going to be our November set? Maybe it's our November set. That's going to be a long time, but we'll see someday, maybe global release. Alright, now we've already known about some of these megas already, but we can go over them again. So, Mega Evolution Pokemon are 3 prize Pokemon. They have tons of HP, strong attacks, and right now we're going to be going into a format where we have multiple prize Pokemon. We have single prize, 2 prize with the EX, and then now with the Megas, which are going to be giving up 3 prize cards when they get taken down. So this is going to add to a lot of variance and strategy within the game, I think, a bit more, just because we're going to have more options to choose from in terms of weighing attackers and making lines and plays and things like that. It's going to be really good. And we're going to see how that goes. We're actually still going to have EX Pokemon, of course, still, but with the Megas, we're adding in a new thing into the game. So we're going to see. So Mega Lucario EX isn't a new one per se. We've already seen him, but we'll go over it again. With Aura Jab, this is a fighting type at 340 HP. Aura Jab, attach it to 3 basic fighting energy cards from your discard pile to your bench Pokemon in any way that you like. Now, this is going to be powering up the Pokemon and doing 130 at the same time. Then there's Mega Brave, which is, hey, that's the set name, isn't it? There we go. 270 damage. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't use Mega Brave. Alright, so Riolu on the other side is going to be at 80 HP. This is the one coming with the set with this Lucario, but we actually have other Riolu in the format already, so we can find one that isn't 80 HP, or you can use the 80 HP one, just keeping in mind that it is not going to be able to be found with Buddy Buddy Poffin. So our Mega Brave 270 attack is strong, but we also have an item card in Premium Power Pro that's coming to boost even more outcome damage. So basically, it says during this turn, attacks used by your fighting Pokemon do 30 more damage to your opponent's active, and this is going to be putting it up to 300 damage he's swinging with. He's powerful. He drinks his shake, his energy drink, and then he gets powered up. It's crazy. Unstoppable. Here's Mega Venusaur EX. Now, Solar Trans. This is the original Japanese card did say, I think, Sora Taranzu. So I hope they keep the name because Solar Trans and Jungle Dump is funny, but as many times as you like during your turn, you may move a basic grass energy from one of your Pokemon to another one of your Pokemon. So, very interesting. Huge versatility, I would say, and this could come into play with specific grass decks. This could come into play with a Yanmega deck, with a Hydrapple deck, and with like Teal'c's Gogurpon. These are Pokemon who can be attackers and they already mess around with having grass energy on the board. Hydrapple gets powered up by having grass energy on the board and can be, moved around. And then Yanmega is also with that. So we can see some decks already that might be utilizing it. So Solar Trans is going to add some versatility options to some already existing grass decks potentially, and I'm going to be very curious to see what we can build with it and how we can maybe shape up this Venusaur EX. Now another thing about Venusaur EX might be a tanking and healing sort of deck that I've seen some people already mention or go to, especially with its huge HP of 380 HP. That thing is a tank. I mean, he's going to be taking stuff, and then its attack, Jungle Dump, which is for 4 grass energy, 240 damage, but heal 30 from this Pokemon. So this guy is going to get some healing action too. The flexibility of this ability, in fact, is going to be to help, because it's as many times as you like, this really adds flexibility and strategy to it. This can mean surprise plays. And when I say surprise plays, I mean being able to put down a Pokemon to switch things to it and get them to maybe attack. It can also be a surprise of just helping Pokemon to retreat, stuff like that. So those sort of plays are possible with that. And with this huge HP, I'm sure some have already also considered to make it like a block lax sort of type thing, where we have this Bulbasaur incoming with Bind Down for 10 damage. During your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon can't retreat. So this is an interesting strategy because Bulbasaur can bind you down, but then our attacker is having a huge amount of HP, and it's healing itself when it attacks. And it attacks for a big number. We're going to see more about this, I am sure. But speaking of grass, check out a recent video about Yanmega and various grass partners in the format right now that I just did, if you would like. Now on to the next new stuff. We have new fighting types. We have a Hariyama, Sumo Catcher. Interesting name. I like it. When you play this card from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, during your turn you may switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with your active Pokemon. So this is similar to a boss effect, a boss's orders effect. This Hariyama is going to be a Pokemon who might sort of also take the place of a boss, because boss might be rotating out, and this is something. And its wild press attack, doing 210 damage, is significant and big because it's coming from a single prize attacker, and it can hit support Pokemon such as Ogre Pawnee X that you might be seeing that has 210 damage, or squishier targets that have under that. And so that's going to be a sneaky thing. And it's going to be, of course, perfect for our fighting type Lucario deck, potentially. So next, Vulpix and Ninetales. I really like this Ninetales attack. This is really interesting. So Suspicious Shapeshifting. Discard the top card of your deck, and if that card's a supporter, use its effect as the effect of this attack. Now, we have not seen this before. Normally you can only do one supporter card. Normally you can only do that, and the game's meant to be around that. So potentially having the ability to do another supporter card effect during your turn is powerful, I think, and that's really interesting. I think there could be some really interesting like fringe or rogue deck options utilizing this, especially with some cards that already do this as well, that synergize nicely with it. Now, I don't think we don't have too many decks in the Pokemon TCG at all, really, that utilizes fixing your top deck and then drawing into it, other than like Cypher's Maniac, but also Academy at Night. So once during each player's turn, the player may put a card from their hand on the top of their deck. Now you can imagine this synergizes so nicely, and I am going to be trying to maybe build something, a little rogue fringe thing with Ninetales. I think that's going to be really fun. Now our new supporter, new broken, really good one, is Lily's Determination here. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw 6 cards. If you have 6 prize cards remaining, you draw 8 cards instead. Now, this is probably going to be a staple among decks. I mean, among, like, all, you know. It's really versatile, and it's great, of course, in the beginning game when you have 6 prizes, so that's a ton of cards. I mean, we had Professor's Research doing 7 card draw. This is drawing 8 cards. That's a significant amount, of course, and so I think we're going to be seeing this thing around. I'm very excited. I can't wait to see. I'm sure there's going to be a special illustration rare. Sure, it's going to be wild. Let's go. We'll see that. Now, onto the cards from Mega Symphonia. This is the Mega Gardevoir EX set. So, we have already seen Mega Gardevoir EX, but we're going to look at it again. It's got 360 HP. It has, for 1 Psychic Energy, Overflowing Wishes. For each of your bench Pokemon, search your deck for a basic Psychic Energy card and attach it to that Pokemon, and then you shuffle your deck. Then Mega Symphonia does 50x. It's doing 50 damage for each Psychic Energy attached to all your Pokemon. So you can clearly see the synergy between having Psychic Energy on your Pokemon and being able to attack for high numbers like that. So that's going to be good. And I'm sure you can understand that in the early game, there might be some strategy of getting off an Overflowing Wishes attack to make sure that you have some energy on it already. And then late game, you're going to be seeing Mega Symphonia. Now, keep in mind, though, that we are going to have this Gardevoir, this Mega Gardevoir, along with our Gardevoir EX in the same format for some time, until like April or so when Gardevoir EX rotates next year, but that's going to be also aiding in this deck. I can see Gardevoir continuing to dominate for sure. And here's our new Ralts. Super cute, ideal. I love this art. Then we have new Curlia as well. 100 HP. Call Sign is the attack. Search your deck for up to 3 Pokemon. You reveal them and put them into your hand and then shuffle your deck. Gardevoir is getting so much still. Wow, we're going to be seeing so much Gardevoir still. Can't tell you, yeah, it's going to be something. But that's a lot of support, and a lot of psychic support. We're still going to see some towards the end, so please keep watching until then. Now, our next big Mega reveal was Mega Latias EX. This is a Dragon type, 280 HP. Although this is a Mega, it's a basic Pokemon. basic Mega Pokemon. So it's a lot easier to get onto the field compared to the other stage 1s that we already looked at, such as Venusaur EX, Mega Venusaur, I should say, and of course our Lucario and Gardevoir. Now, it doesn't have as massive an HP as them, but that's because it is just an easy basic. And it's a versatile one that can zoom in and out. With this strafe attack, 40 damage. You may switch this Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. This causes some flexibility. Now, although 40 damage isn't much, we can actually use it to, get a sneaky KO on, say, a Badoo on the other side. That KOs Badoo and switches this Pokemon out, and you get to choose a new one. This is some sneaky stuff. Or it can KO other tiny Pokemon, Joltik, stuff like that. Or it can just at least punch and move. Now, it also has Mirage Pulse for a Fire, Psychic, and Colorless energy, 300 damage. Discard all energy from this Pokemon. This is a great late-game finisher. This you might also pick up on, because it takes Fire and Psychic energy, it slots in very nicely with Dragapult EX decks already, who are already running either the Fire Psychic energy package, but also some Luminous energy, or, the new Prism energy that's coming that's also going to be utilized for something like this, I'm sure. And like I said, 300 is a great cleanup attack, and it's on this basic that you can get out pretty fast. Now, you can even power it up faster with this single prize Latios. This is a single prize Latios Dragon type with Luster Assist. Once during your turn, when your Mega Latias EX moves from the bench to the active spot, you may move any number of energy from your bench Pokemon to that active Pokemon. So this is going to be really helpful in moving our Latias up to the active spot immediately and getting the KO. I would say. I do have to wonder if we're going to see Latios be a big partner with the Mega Latios. Mega Latias, right? Yeah, EX. We're just gonna have to wait and see, but I can see the clear synergy in the card design for sure. And we can also, don't forget about the Balloon Tool card that's coming that also makes movement easier because it takes away a retreat cost of 2. So that's going to be great. It's going to be good. And if you have your Dragapult deck and you have some energy on the bench, you want to go, you can do this. Move it to Latias, take it out. Now onto the Chameleons. We have Sobble here and Drizzile, pretty basic stuff, and then Inteleon, a single prize Pokemon, water type, 150 HP, with the attack for 1 water energy, bring down. The Pokemon in play that has the least HP remaining, except for this Pokemon, is knocked out. And if there's multiple, you get to choose one. Now, this is a super interesting attack. It has potential to maybe be a finisher for some Pokemon that has, unfortunately, the least. But do make sure that it's not your own Pokemon, because it does specify that it is Pokemon in play and not your opponent's Pokemon in play, it looks like. So I believe that's how that's going to be working. Then Water Shot for 1 water energy does 110. You discard from this Pokemon 1 energy. Now, we also have this sneaky little Pachirisu, which is going to be interesting. Not sure how used it's going to be yet, but let's see. We have Tingly and Scissors. I love that. During your opponent's next turn, whenever your opponent attaches an energy from their hand to the defending Pokemon, put 8 damage counters on that Pokemon. So this could be sneaky. This could be like a disruption option in some sort of disruption deck. I can see it pairing with other disruption cards, but ultimately, I don't know how versatile this is going to be or how much use it's going to see, but it's going to be something to, of course, keep in mind that is going to be out there in the format. Now, we have Mega Signal. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be a staple in Mega Pokemon decks, I imagine. You search your deck for 1 Mega Evolution Pokemon EX, reveal it, put it in your hand, and then shuffle your deck. Very easy. This is better than Ultra Ball because you're not discarding cards to use it, but it is very specific to just Mega Pokemon, and it is getting 1, but those are big Mega Pokemon, so that is good to have in our Mega Pokemon format, I would say. Now, we have Mystery Garden as this new stadium. This new stadium is really interesting here. Once during each player's turn, that player may discard 1 energy card from their hand to draw cards until they have as many cards in hand as they have Psychic Pokemon in play. As you can imagine, this is clear Psychic support, clear Guardy support, I have to say. We're gonna be seeing so much Guardy still, I'm sure. But as you can imagine, this card's phenomenal. We're gonna probably see it, yeah. Those Psychic types are eating good. Now, lastly, we have Wally's Compassion. Heal all damage from 1 of your Mega Evolution Pokemon EX. If you do, put all energy attached to that Pokemon back into your hand. Note, this is for our Evolution Pokemon EX, so we're not using this on Latios. Not sure why you might. This is also kind of a niche supporter where I'm not sure if we're going to see a ton of use out of him. But I can see some people already making the connection to where we could use this in our Venusaur wall fortress type deck if we decide to build it that way. We have a huge amount of HP on Venusaur EX. On Mega Venusaur EX, I need to specify, because we do have a Venusaur EX already in the format. But yeah, as you can imagine, maybe we'll find some play there, but even then, I'm not sure. Once again, though, I'm excited to see the SIR, I'm sure that's coming of this, and it's going to be exciting. The last big reveal from the set is going to be these full art item cards. We got to see Rare Candy, and we got to see Night Stretcher updated and everything, and these are phenomenal. Now, we normally just have the gold cards to bling out the deck with our item cards, but with these full art cards, they look really nice. I'm so excited about it. I've seen everyone else excited about it, so it's gonna be super nice to see a little change in that way. And I don't think it's gonna be too hard to pull like the gold cards are. I think this is gonna be about the same slot as like a full art. This is a secret rare in Japanese, in the Japanese set. So yeah, they look super nice. Thanks for watching. I would love to hear your thoughts though. I want to hear your thoughts about the new cards that are coming. I want to hear your thoughts about all that stuff. If I missed anything, let me know. Please do. And then consider liking, subscribing, all that stuff if you really enjoy the content and want to see more of it on your feed. Thank you again, though, for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye!